To the right of that, we see co-signer. We see your signature, or what appears to be your signature again. Is that correct, sir?
Correct, yes.
You signed that as well?
Yes, I did.
Now, why did you sign on behalf of World Class Developments as a signing officer?
We needed the money fairly quickly for the July 31st deadline.
In fact, did you have authority to sign on behalf of World Class Developments?
No, I did not.
Now, at that point, July 27th, 2007, was Mr. DeChico involved in the project?
I believe he was in discussions with Mr. Couprie at the time.
So the answer is
yes.
Is it yes or no?
I would say yes in terms of directions.
Now, have your loans to World Class Developments or the TAC loan, which you obtained apparently on behalf of World Class Developments and which you've co-signed for here, have they been repaid by World Class Developments?
No, they have not.
Do you expect those loans to be repaid?
I'm hoping they are, yes.
By the way, who are the principal or principals behind TAC?
Well, Sylvia de Gasperis and his family.
Silvio de Gasperis and
yes.
his family, is that correct?
Yes.
I'm going to turn to another area now, and that's amendments to the agreement of purchase and sale, which we understand take place in the spring and summer of 2008. And Mr. McDowell has made a sensible suggestion, and that's that this might be an appropriate time to take the morning recess.
All right, we take 15 minutes.
Thank you.
Order, all rise, please. First chance recess, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Court's reconvened, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. If I could ask you to turn your mind to the spring and summer of 2008. And as I mentioned just before the recess, we're aware that there were amendments made to the agreement of purchase and sale.
Yes.
Now, at some point in 2008, did you become concerned about the development project?
Yes, for a couple of reasons. One, the timing of the hotel and the time frame that it had to be started and majorly completed, as well as the economy in the U.S. had started to tank. So it was, and the first thing to go are hotels and airlines in a bad economy. So I was concerned that the hotel was going to be a problem in terms of financial as well as timing.
Right. Now, despite the recession, which was then taking root, were you confident, Mr. McCallion, that the project would eventually get done?
Yes, very confident.
Why so?
The city is a growing city. It's probably number one city in Canada in terms of development, and it was the best location for it.
But you had those concerns about the economy and the timing for construction. Is that right, sir?
Correct, yes.
Did others at World Class Developments share those concerns?
Tony did.
Was Mr. DeChico doing anything about that concern on
Well,
his
he
part?
was trying to extend the time of the construction of the hotel and whatnot in terms of finishing.
Who was he dealing with in that regard? Do you know?
I believe he was dealing with Omers.
Now, in and around that time, did you have a discussion with anyone from Omers?
I believe I did have a short discussion with Michael Kitt, saying that we needed more time.
Do you remember any of the details surrounding that conversation?
No, I don't remember that one specifically, no.
Was that an in-person meeting, or was it over the telephone?
I believe it was in person, though.
Now, ultimately, we know that World Class Development and Omers did enter into an amending agreement, and in that respect we have Exhibit 105, which I'll ask to be displayed now. Now, first of all, sir, have you seen this amending agreement before?
Well, during the inquiry, yes. But I don't believe I saw it when it was accomplished.
It's dated July 31st, 2008.
Yes.
Did you play any role in negotiating the terms of this amending agreement?
No, I did not.
How would you describe your involvement in World Class Developments between July and the fall of 2008?
Nothing had changed in my involvement that I was aware of.
During that period, did you tell Mr. DeChico that you wanted out of the deal?
I don't recall that.
Did you ever tell him that?
I don't recall that.
Did you ever tell anyone else that you wanted out of the deal?
No.
Now, in the fall of 2008, I understand that you met with two representatives of Omers. Is that right, sir?
Correct, yes.
Who were they?
Michael Kitt and John Filippetti.
Why did you meet with them in the fall of 2008?
Because of the economy at the time and the timing of the hotel, it was apparent that we needed a lot more time to accomplish the hotel part of the project, strictly related to the economy.
Did you ask them for anything in particular?
Well, I asked them for more time on the hotel. I wasn't asking them to delete the hotel, just more time to complete the project.
When you say you weren't asking them to delete the hotel, what do you mean by that?
Well, I guess if you deleted the hotel, it'd be all condos.
Deleting the condition in the agreement of purchase and sale that required construction of a hotel.
Correct, yes.
And so that I'm clear about that, was World Class Developments backing away from building the hotel at all?
No.
To your understanding?
Not to my understanding, no. They weren't backing away at all. Just the timing of the hotel.
Do you recall any response to your request by Mr. Kitt or Mr. Filippetti?
Yes, specifically. Mr. Kitt suggested that if we increase the purchase price by $2.5 million, he doesn't care if we ever build a hotel.
During this same time, were you aware of your mother's involvements in any discussions with Omers about the project and the deal?
No, I was not.
During this same time, did you ever tell anyone that you were off the project or off the file?
Not that I recall, no.
During the fall of 2008, did you have conversations with your mother about World Class Developments
When?
that you recall now?
That I recall now? Other than I don't recall really having a specific conversation other than timing of the hotel, but I don't recall having a conversation with her on that.
And now, Mr. McCallion, I'm going to turn to another area, and that is the litigation between OMERS and World Class Developments. And of course, there's a matter of some affidavits that we need to discuss. Before I do that, let's turn to Exhibit 117. You'll see that Exhibit 117 is a letter dated January 9th, 2009.
Yes.
And it's addressed to Mr. Rosenblatt and Ms. Bianchini at Minden Gross. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
And they were the lawyers for World Class Developments at the time. Is that right, sir?
Yes, as well as Emilio Bisceglia.
You understand that this exhibit constitutes the written notice from the vendors that they were terminating the agreement of purchase and sale.
Yes.
Now, sir, did you see a copy of that letter at the time?
No, I did not.
But I take it you became aware that the document had been delivered. Is that right, sir?
Yes. Tony informed me at some point.
You understand, Mr. McCallion, that ultimately there was litigation commenced by OMERS against World Class Developments.
Yes.
And you understand that OMERS commenced an application for a determination that the agreement of purchase and sale was terminated and that World Class Developments had no right or claim to the OMERS land.
Correct.
Now, sir, were you a named party in that litigation to the best of your
Not that I was
recollection?
aware of, no.
I understand, though, that you became involved in the litigation. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
How did you become involved in the litigation?
Tony and Emilio wanted me to sign an affidavit in regards to the litigation.
I understand that you attended a meeting in early August 2009. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
Do you recall where that meeting was?
That was Emilio's office.
Do you recall how long the meeting lasted?
An hour or so.
Would that be Minden Gross?
No.
It's
Who's Emilio?
Emilio Bisceglia, Bisceglia, and his office is
7940
it's
Jane
in
Street.
Vaughan, I understand. Is that fair? Thank you.
Thank you.
7941, something like that.
In fact, Mr. Bisceglia's firm is Bisceglia and Associates Professional Corporation, Suite 200, 7941 Jane Street, Concord, Ontario. Just to take some of the guesswork out of it, Mr. McCallion. So, you had this meeting, and I understand that you were asked to swear an affidavit in relation to the litigation. Is that right?
Correct, yes.
Who asked you to do that?
I believe it was Tony and Emilio.
And so that we're clear about what you understood Mr. Bisceglia's role to be, what was that?
I believed he to be the lawyer for World Class Developments.
Now, we know, Mr. McCallion,